I've teamed up with GoCar. Let me tell you why. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you'll know that I don't like car loans, and I've even referred to them as crappy debt. If you own your own car and you're doing 16,000 kilometres a year, that's a cost of about €10,691 a year. The equivalent to the GoCar is around €3,600. That's a potential saving of €7,000 every year. Not only that, but the hourly rate you pay covers insurance, tax, maintenance and fuel. In Dublin City, it's so convenient. On average, there is a GoCar within a 5-minute walk from wherever you are. Download the GoCar app today for a smarter, more affordable way to move. I'm joined by Steven in studio. Steven, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Just for people listening at home, we sometimes have professionals, okay, and they will have some type of skill or profession that we're interested in talking to them as a guest. And then we have sometimes called what I call real people. And you're a real people today, right? And you're also a professional, but we're not here in your professional capacity. We're here because we're interested in you and your story and where you've been. So tell me, Steven, you're originally from Venezuela.
Yes.
And you do have Portuguese heritage, so you're European.
Yes.
But tell me, give me the whistle-stop tour of how you now live in Ireland.
Well, Owen, I left Venezuela in 2014 and I had a good job. I was working in a great company along with my wife as well, who was an electronic engineer. And basically in 2014, we decided to leave the country because we saw that the average inflation was almost 60% in a year.
60.
In a year, in 12 months.
To put that in perspective, you walk into a shop today, you buy something for €100, you walk into the same shop this time next year,
yes.
The same goods are going to cost you €160.
Correct.
That's tough.
Correct. So that was with everything. And of course, that brought problems as well to the country as to shortages of food and medicines. So we decided to say, listen, we need to find another place to live.
Okay.
We're young, we need a future. So we said, let's go, let's sell everything we have. And that's what we did.
And is it straightforward to leave Venezuela?
No, not really. Okay. It wasn't really straightforward. Like the only way we found to leave was actually to find an English course.
Okay.
In any place in Europe.
Okay.
So we decided.
So you have your European citizenship, yes, and everything through your heritage,
yes,
and through family,
yeah,
and you identified that the way out of Venezuela was education.
Correct.
And that was that was how you got out.
Yes.
So you went to the UK first, is that right?
I went to the UK first.
Okay. How was that?
It was tough.
Okay.
It was tough. We found it very expensive, and I tried to find for a job, and I did a couple of interviews, but it was not like, I understand now, but like people want to see that you have experience in Europe before actually giving you a job.
Okay.
And I understand why, but you know, I didn't at that time.
So then UK didn't work out, so you went to Spain.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about your experience in Spain.
So I had a friend in Spain, and she said, listen, you can come here if you want to live with us just for a couple of weeks and try here. You might be able to find a job. And like I'd had experience in ports and ships, and basically what happened was that when I tried to find a job there, they told me there was only through inheritance.
Okay.
So I said, okay, there's no way I'm gonna find a job in Spain. So Spain was also, it was cheaper than UK, of course, but it wasn't easy.
Okay.
It wasn't easy.
So Spain, you moved on then. You did get a job in Portugal, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So through a Spanish company, I found a job very close to where I was in Spain. I found a job in Portugal, but the job was very tough. It was as a mechanic, but it was just not a good.
And you're a mechanical engineer.
And I'm a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
Yeah. So people always, they relate that because you're an engineer and you know how to design stuff, you also know how to repair them.
Yeah.
Now I did know because my father taught me, so I kind of had that experience. But at the same time, it was not easy.
Okay. So what happened then in Portugal? Why didn't you stay in Portugal?
So we couldn't stay in Portugal. We found that we were trying to apply for a very, very good job with a very big company. And we heard back saying that we were not going to get the job.
Okay.
So on that basis, we felt, my wife and I felt that, we were trying so hard. We basically spent 9 months just trying to find a job and living only on savings.
Yeah. So you've eaten through your savings at this stage.
Yeah.
Bit fed up?
Yeah. So I only had enough money to go back and to try to do something in Venezuela, like a business or anything like that. So that's what we did. We went back to Venezuela.
Okay.
And like we thought, okay, maybe this was not the best thing to do.
When you got back to Venezuela?
Yeah, because it was even worse.
Okay.
It was even worse when I left.
Okay.
And because I sold everything, like we had to stay, with the in-laws, and it was tough. So we said, listen,
one last try.
So we said, okay, let's do another shot. And my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law were already in Ireland. They did the same as I did. They chose Ireland.
You chose the UK. They chose Ireland. So you joined them here.
Yes.
You're over here now. And tell me about the first job you landed.
Okay, so my first job that I landed was in a convenience store.
Go on, tell us. Everyone knows who it is.
Very, very busy spot in a corner of Dame Street.
On the corner of Dame Street, the one with no doors.
Correct.
Yes.
That's the one.
The one that's open 24 hours a day and therefore doesn't need doors.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the one.
So you're working in there. You're meeting all the city people of the night time in Dublin.
Yes.
And you're really getting to know us as people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I meant like I met a lot of good people, I have to say, but I also met, the usual people that doesn't treat you well because, they have a lot of alcohol on their heads, and it's kind of like,
Yeah, okay.
So it was
You meet
tough.
the best and the worst of people at 3 a.m. on Dame Street.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell me how much you were earning in that shop.
In that job, I was doing 250 euros per week.
And how much was your rent?
205 euros per week.
So you had 45 quid a week to live off.
Correct.
You were working to rent, basically.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. And you're working away there, and you then kind of moved away from that. Where did you go to next when you left there?
Yeah. So I was...
You blagged your way into a job.
Yes. So at this stage, I'm applying to a job every single day. Every single day I'm applying to a job as a mechanical engineer. And I decided, listen, I need to change this, wherever I can get. And basically I found a job as a fishmonger.
Okay.
In one of the biggest supermarket stores in Ireland.
Okay.
And I was very happy. I changed, from being on a small convenience store. Now I'm a big one. I'm earning a little bit more. Yeah. So it was great.
Better.
Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah.
And there must have been you're obviously driven. You've got education behind you. You've got a skill. You're an engineer. You've got a profession. But it's tough. Like you and your wife have just landed in your 1, 2, 3, fourth country, fourth attempt. It's starting to kick off and it's starting to go well for you. This is all kind of since 2014. You've been doing this over the years. Yeah. What you did, your wife applied for a job, is what you told me beforehand. Yeah. And she also applied for an internship as well at the same time.
Yes.
And she decided to take the internship. So where did that leave you?
Okay, so that left me, basically, she found an internship. It was only 50 euros per month that she was going to get. And then she got the call back.
And you just said, go for it.
Yes.
We'll make
it work because an internship will be a good position for you to actually find a job. And, it was the way to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what happened then was that when she got the call back, she said to my boss, basically, at the time.
Your now boss, yeah.
Yes. She says, I'm not looking for a job anymore, but my husband is a mechanical engineer. So he actually said that's a better fit if you can send me his CV. So he got my CV and he rang me. I was actually leaving the shop that day. And he said, can you come for an interview? And that's what I did. So I went, I did an interview. It wasn't a great interview, but...
you got the job.
I got the job, which was good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but your wife had laid the path for you. You were sorted. She had done all the hard work.
She did all the hard work. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you got it. You went into that job. I'm happy if you want to mention your employer name because you're still with that employer and that has worked out. When did you start with them? 18? Was it 2018?
So I started with them in May 2016.
2016?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the company name is Conlon Engineering.
Okay. Yeah. And what's your position now with Cullen Engineering?
Okay. So in 2020, after a rough spots during COVID, and you know how it was for a lot of companies. Basically, Brian, who's now my business partner, he says to me, "Listen, Steven, I want to offer you a 35% shares of the company if you want to tag along, because I can see that you've been in the office at 4 a.m. Just trying to meet deadlines. You're a person that tries very, very hard. That it's a good." You're a good worker and clients are very happy with you. So he offered that to me and I was like, absolutely.
So you're now a shareholder in that business?
Yes.
So let's just remind ourselves the journey. You're in Venezuela, 60% inflation. You need to get out. Try the UK, didn't work out. Went to Spain, didn't work out. Went to Portugal, didn't work out. Went home, didn't work out. And then you land back here again, or land to here for the very first time.
Yes.
And roll the clock forward to 8 years later, and you're now a shareholder. But you're also, where do you live?
So I live at the moment in Kildare Town.
And are you renting?
No, I bought a house in Kildare Town.
So you bought a house in Kildare Town over the last couple of years as well. You've been building it up. When you look at Ireland, okay, so you've tried a couple of different places.
Yes.
You've tried to stay in Venezuela and you look like you tried twice, like your whole life, and then another stint of trying again.
Yes.
Why do you think you ended up in Ireland? Why do you think, what was it different about Ireland that has presented you with the opportunities that you've grabbed, right? You've created and you've grabbed opportunities here in Ireland. Why do you think it was here that you ended up?
Well, to be honest, when I looked back to all of the countries, I have to say that the people in Ireland are different to the other 3 countries that I visited. And like, I'm not saying this in a bad way or anything, but they're very friendly. And they're like us, like Venezuelan, the Latino people, as some people say, is you go on a bus and somebody asks you, how is your day? You don't see that in another country. So I think that people are very welcoming in here, and maybe it's fate, I don't know, but I think that was the best choice. And I'm so happy. And my family, my daughter now can say that, we have a future because we're in a great position now. Yeah.
So Ireland has been good to you.
Yes, very much.
And do you think that, one of the things I want to be really careful of here is, this is not a political show. This is not a societal show or trying to make a statement or trying to do anything else. I'm more interested in you, and it's your personal opinion is what I'm looking for here.
Yeah.
Do you think that, given what we've seen in the papers in recent times and in the media and in the news cycle in recent times about people who are coming to this country, and oftentimes it's not inflation that they're running away from, it's other things that they're running away from. Do you think our attitude has changed or is changing? Or do you think we're less welcoming now for people coming fresh here today?
I don't think you can judge all of the people of Ireland just because of a minority. That's my personal opinion, to be honest. What you see on the news, I think is just maybe people are not happy, or but I don't see that in the majority of the Irish, and I have to say that because, like, okay, I might be in with meeting clients and people that are not comparison to on social level, but I found them the same.
Okay,
I don't think
that's really good to hear.
Yeah, I don't think
from your perspective, that's really great to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you come if you were sitting talking to your 16-year-old self, whatever age you were there? We don't need to know what age. Would you say, yeah, go? Yeah,
I will.
And if you were talking to a friend who's sitting somewhere and is looking for similar opportunities, and they were saying, I'm thinking about UK, Ireland, Spain, Portugal,
I will do the recommendation of saying, you because you can see that. You can see a lot of especially Brazilians and Venezuelans and people from South America. Like I follow a lot of groups on Facebook, and they're always asking, what do I need to do to go to Ireland? And so people make that advice. I do believe that sometimes it's tough for people that doesn't have the the citizenship.
Yeah.
It's very tough. On
It was
visa
completely
but
different for you. Yeah,
correct.
absolutely. Yeah.
Correct. And I understand that. And, you cannot give the same advice to people that don't have that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you can still come here, you can still apply, you can still work, do whatever you have to do to survive. And then, you get the opportunity of get your visa. And sometimes maybe you can even get your residency and you're being Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
I've seen that.
Stephen, I really appreciate you sharing your story with us, because I think it's an important story that shows that with the resilience, with the graft, with the creation of opportunities for yourself and then taking them on, you've landed yourself in Ireland. You have a house, a home, a daughter, a job, a shareholding, and a very bright future.
Correct.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, and thanks for the opportunity.